what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here. This is going to be our testing of Mythic Tindral Sageswift, I believe. He is the penultimate boss in the upcoming 10.2 Amirdrassil raid, and this is Mythic, if I didn't say that. This boss was a wild ride today. Not many guilds, I don't think many guilds at all made it to Phase 2. I don't believe either group that I test with usually did. We did not. A lot of Phase 1 pulls, a very rapid-fire boss, sort of how like Warcraft feels in Phase 1, which is... my favorite. Either way, so getting into it here, the build we played was this. We played another portal, sorry, not another portal, a demonology cleave-based build, immutable hatred stuff. I pulled a point from Shadow Invocation to put it in Imperator. I think Imperator is likely pretty good, especially when you're playing Imp Gang Boss and Cleave. Well, this can be good. This is not a like sustained Cleave fight. There's periods of heavy Cleave, and then a lot of like just smaller, like I guess lesser cleave elements with things spawning randomly, all that kind of stuff. So we played Imperator here. Besides that, normal build here, Implosion, all this stuff here. Hatred. I'm still not a huge fan of Spiteful Recon for a handful of reasons. But yeah, this is the build. So today, this video is gonna be a little different because we had a lot of really fast pulls. I'm gonna review the video live and talk about the mechanics, what's happening here, and then you guys can watch and figure it all out. So sort of like a play-by-play, I guess, because we had a lot of like minute-and-a-half pulls, and that was that. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna try and walk you all through it here. Sorry for the double overlapping cameras. Just it's the recording. It sort of is what it is. So the big difference here between heroic and mythic is that on mythic you have to dragon ride during different stages of the fight, not just the intermissions. Now the way that it works, we have 4 markers down here: diamond, skull, and 2 behind the off screen here, which are assigned to players in the first group. The feathers will land based on where the first green toxic mushroom spawns. The 4 players pick up their feathers, interact with them, mount, and all you have to do is go to your marker and fly through the red falling orb that's falling from the sky. If you do, it soaks the orb. You land your bird on top of the roots, which will do damage to them and prevent the tree ants from spawning. We'll get to that in a minute here. And that's all good. If somebody misses a falling orb, the raid wipes. So that's Dragonriding in Phase 1, 2, and 3. It's very exciting, slash sarcasm, but it's sort of cool. It is sort of a one-shot mechanic if you miss it, but I mean, it is what it is for now. So the big thing here, besides that, you want to land the dragon on top of the roots to prevent the tree ants from spawning. If you kill the roots before the dragon lands on top of them, you will not, or you will spawn tree ants, which have to be killed, and they hurt. So we're heading in here, lusting. You're going to see some falling stars coming in here. These blue swirlies, just dodge them for the most part. Now you're going to see mushrooms spawning. There's the red one here, and the green one's back here. It's sort of hard to see, but once again, the feathers will spawn around the first green mushrooms location, right? So red lands there. These are tank soaks, basically. You have to alternate here. Red is landing. Red is being soaked now. There's green. First green soak is here. Keep that in mind. Here's number 2. This is happening. When he goes into bird form, he spawns the actual feathers for the players to soak. So this is happening about now. Moving out, and there are the feathers. 1, 2, 3, and there's one over there. I guess they spawn behind him. I don't know. Thought it was where the first mushroom spawned. Either way, you can see him relatively easily. Wouldn't mind him being larger, because honestly, when there's a million red things going on, a little hard to see, but you can make them work. So the 4 players pick up their feathers, fly in the air, and hit their orbs, come back down, and land on top of these roots. The mass entanglement. This is much faster than heroic. You have like 4 seconds to get into a spot, get rooted, and they do splash damage if you cleave somebody, right? Now, the thing here, you want to be stacked. You want the dragon riders to land their dragons on top of the roots. If they do, once you kill the vines, it'll prevent the tree ants from spawning outside of them. Now, if somebody dies or you kill one fast, like right here, a tree ant will spawn. But for the most part, that's the intended way of doing it. Now, in the end, this is a Phase 1 lust meat grinder. If you spawned all tree ants, it probably die all the same. But in the later parts of the fight, again, it happens again in Phase 1. I'd assume Phase 2 and 3 as well. You want to do it properly. So first, roots spawn here, all being AoE down. These 3 circles here are fire dispels. You have to get out. They apply a dot to the raid, which you can handle a 2 stack. A 3 stack's an instant 1-shot. It's a damage increase taken. It scales a crazy amount in 3 stacks. You can see here as well, this is a feather. It's like an interact option. So if you're dragon riding, you interact with it, you mount manually, and just fly through your assigned marker. We get out with these. Once this happens, there's a large move that comes in. The boss puts 2 large fire circles down. These are going to spawn fire tornadoes. So you have to run basically away from them in a sense and find the gap through all this. Now, the crazy part here, a mass entangle is happening right now. You have to find the location where you can sit, not be run over by the fire tornadoes, and clear all the vines out, which ends up being pretty hectic. Now, once this happens, you clear the vines, kill the treants to spawn, whatever. After this, you have more mushrooms spawning. There's going to be a green and red one here in a second. Everyone's dying. Also a star shower coming in, so roots got to be broken quickly. Mushrooms should be about now. There we go, which spawns more feathers. He's going into bird form now, and we are wiping. Now, you can indeed like soul burn, Divine Circle these roots, but if you do, like you can break them basically, but if you break them, they will indeed spawn a treant. So it's sort of Blizzard's way of like, oh, well, you can do that, but you're going to spawn ads. So the first part of this fight, pretty hectic, pretty wild. Yeah, that's basically that. So I'll put a few polls after this as well if you want to watch the raw footage. Demo is good here, but in the end, this is baseline Demo profile. Stat cleave, you do good damage. And honestly, we found out afterwards that when the Dragon Riders land on the vines, it prevents the treants from spawning. If we had known that during testing, we wouldn't have AoE'd necessarily as hard, but at the same time, like, I mean, it's literally Demo's profile either way. So there's that, and yeah.
No, they're just not saying anything.
Mark of the Wild.
Just look at what way he's facing here on the first round. Right here.
They're out.
That should pick up already.
They're out. They're out.
Pick up. I mean, you guys got it. You guys already got it.
Yep. That's
No,
four.
his shrooms are random every time.
Where is it?
Move.
Got it, we're good.
Spelling moving, guys. Dodge.
I was late. It's hard to see. It's way up in the air. It's so high up. Okay. I thought it was like a ring getting to fly through. It's like falls. Now I see. Okay. Okay.
Now this is gonna be shrooms and screw 2 here. Inside.
You gonna spell Kalamazi?
Next.
Moving towards square, moving towards square. Last one expires on 3.
A few times.
Dodging now, and then look for the gap in the tornadoes and get gap. Holy weed, holy weed. Personals. After we have this one starts, move 2. Yo, use barrier. Ready?
Right after we let
Die to this. Oh, I'm dead.
On the
Mushroom
poison
spawned on me.
2.
That is
Let's just 30 seconds in, 40 seconds in. What do you think for healing?